The sister of a young man from Hampshire who took his own life is helping to roll out an online tool for Wi-Fi networks to prevent young people accessing harmful content on the internet. Alice Hendy created Ripple Suicide Prevention following her brother's death 3 years ago, and it's already been accessed by up to 2 million people. Chloe Oliver has been to meet her.
My brother Josh was 21 years old when he decided he didn't want to be here anymore. And on the 25th of November 2020, he made the decision to end his own life. Josh was my only sibling, my best friend. And in the weeks and months that followed after losing Josh, I became pretty obsessed actually with going through his devices, his phone, his laptop, his tablet, just desperately trying to find out what was so bad in his life that he believed this was his best route. And when I did that, I found that Josh had been going onto the internet for a couple of months prior to him ending his life, and he'd been carrying out searches on how he could do it. And I decided to try and do something about that, and I created a piece of technology called Ripple.
The charity's name comes from the huge ripple effect suicide causes to the family and friends around that person. I met Alice at a popular viewpoint in Portsmouth, a place close to Josh's heart.
Josh loved coming to Portsdown. It was somewhere he would regularly visit, often for the burgers. Yeah, I haven't been here for a long time, so it's quite emotional being here, to be honest. This is where he'd come to reflect. So yeah, doing this interview here today is quite poignant for me. What would he think of the MBE? I'd like to think he'd be proud of me.
According to government research led by the Mental Health Intelligence Network, the number of male suicides in this country is the highest on record. In January of this year alone, there was a 25% rise from the month before, with 14 deaths due to suicide out of every 100,000, something Alice vehemently wants to change. I first spoke to Alice in 2021, a few months after Josh's death. Since then, her determination to turn tragedy into a legacy for Josh has seen the device installed in 49 countries with nearly 2 million active users. It saved 29 lives that they know of and intercepted more than 41,500 harmful searches.
We can also now deploy Ripple onto Wi-Fi networks. So any corporate organisations that have got a Wi-Fi network, be that train stations, coffee shops, shopping centres, football stadiums, anywhere that's got a connection there, we can put Ripple on that Wi-Fi network, and that would mean that any harmful searches conducted through that Wi-Fi would again be intercepted and signposted to support.
So as a browser extension, how are you ensuring there's data privacy for those that use it?
So Ripple doesn't monitor, collect, track any personally identifiable information whatsoever. So that means if somebody in a business was to conduct a harmful search relating to self-harm or suicide, we wouldn't be able to provide that level of information back to HR as an example. But what we can do is interrupt that person at their most vulnerable point and instead signpost them to support at that pivotal moment. And our statistics show that sometimes that's all it takes, just to make that person stop, pause, reflect, think about what they're doing, and instead let them know that there's amazing support services out there that exist.
This van comes with Alice to community and corporate events. The back space is open for anyone who needs to chat or just to sit in silence.
So this is a suicide action sign that people can put around their workplaces. You might see at the moment that many workplaces have got fire safety signs all around their offices. In actual fact, somebody is 75 times more likely to die by suicide than they are in a fire. So what we're saying with this sign is more action needs to be taken around mental health and well-being, as well as the physical risks that we're subject to in the workplace.
Ripple has made such an impact. Alice was awarded an MBE for her services to online safety in January this year.
It's the week of Josh's anniversary of his death, so I actually received a letter through the post on the 21st of November. Josh's anniversary is the 25th of November. and a very posh letter came through my letterbox, and I was thinking, what have I done wrong here? And I opened it, and yeah, I couldn't believe what I was reading, to be honest. It just said that, you know, under strictest confidence, that I've been recommended to receive an MBE in the King's New Year's Honours List. I just started crying. I feel like it was meant to happen on that week, but also a very bittersweet feeling, because as amazing as that is, and as wonderful recognition, you know, that brings, I'd rather not have any of it and have Josh with me.
Alice has put her heart and soul into the charity, working her weekends and evenings around her day job in cybersecurity. She says she feels Ripple has become her purpose to stop other families experiencing the pain of suicide. Chloe Oliver, ITV News, Portsdown Hill.
And if you or someone you know is struggling, there's plenty of support and information out there, as you can see on the screen. The advice is, please don't suffer in silence. Ask for help.